Welcome back. We've got our next story. We're only a few days from Halloween, right? So I am going to read to you The Beast Who Couldn't Say Boo. And this is a trick-or-treat tale. And it's by Amanda Agee and illustrated by Carol Camburn. Here we go. The Beast That Couldn't Say Boo. It was a warm October morning, and Boris, a beast of the forest, woke extra early. He was very excited because today was his first day of Boo lessons to prepare for Boo Day. Boo Day takes place each year on the same day that humans celebrate Halloween. On this day, beasts hide in pumpkin patches and jump out and shout, "Boo!" when a human comes along to pick a pumpkin. Boris had a surprise for his classmates. Today, they would learn that he was no ordinary beast. He was Boris, the scariest beast alive. His stuffed animal looks kind of scared, but he doesn't look like the scariest little beast out there. Boris hopped out of bed and wrinkled his nose, scrunched up his eyes, and made a horrible face. Then he whirled around and faced the stuffed elephant sitting on his dresser. Can you do that? What does it say? He wrinkled his nose, he scrunched up his eyes, and made a horrible face. So we wrinkle our nose, we scrunch up our eyes. Yeah, I don't think I'm very scary. I tried though. Next, Boris approached the family cat, booing and stomping his feet. The cat immediately stopped licking her paws and ran into the closet to hide. The scariest beast alive was very proud, and suddenly Boris's door opened and walked in his mother. "I'm the scariest beast alive!" Boris shouted. "Goodness," said his mother. "I must have the wrong room. I was hoping to give my son a special hug before he went to his Boo lessons." Then she turned to leave the room. The scariest beast alive unscrunched his eyes, unwrinkled his nose. "Mama, it's me, Boris." His mother turned and smiled. She opened her arms, and Boris ran over and snuggled up against her. Even beasts like hugs. So there's the cat jumping into the closet, and there's Boris with his mama. At school, the classroom was filled with more beastly faces than Boris had ever seen. Suddenly, the scariest beast alive thought maybe he'd like to go back home. And he started to head out the door, or as he started to head out the door, a large, hairy hand clamped down on his shoulder. It was Mr. Rumpus, the Boo teacher. "Take a seat, beast," said Mr. Rumpus. "Class is about to begin." I like his bow tie. Boris watched as Mr. Rumpus slowly circled the room. Then he pointed to the beast sitting right next to Boris. "Okay, beast, stand up and boo." "Boo!" she shouted in a terrible voice, and Mr. Rumpus smiled, absolutely beastly. "Now you," he commanded, "stand up and boo." This was the moment Boris was waiting for. He took a deep breath and started to shout, but something went wrong. Instead of a big boo that came out was a little puff of air, and it sounded like coo. Mr. Rumpus frowned. "Maybe you should try it again." Uh-oh. This time, Boris closed his eyes and tried to pretend he was alone in his room, but all he could squeak out was a tiny whoo. And everyone in the class started laughing. "That will never do on Boo Day," said Mr. Rumpus. All week long was the same thing. Boris could coo and hoo and even woo, but whenever the other people were around, the scariest beast alive was too nervous to say boo. Boris spent the night before Boo Day alone in his room. He didn't even bother to practice his scary faces. Oh, poor Boris. "Come on, Boris, it's time to head to the pumpkin patch," Boris' mother called. "You don't want to miss Boo Day." Boris reluctantly walked out of his room and grabbed onto his mother's hand. And as soon as they entered the pumpkin patch, Boris ran and hid behind the biggest pumpkin he could find. And since he knew he couldn't scare anyone, he didn't want to be seen at all. Soon a family of humans came in and walked through the rows of pumpkins, not even noticing there was a beast hiding behind each one. Boris held his breath and tried not to make a sound, and all of a sudden his pumpkin started to shake. The humans were picking his pumpkin, and before Boris could run and hide somewhere else, a man, a woman, and a little girl were staring right at him. Uh-oh. What a cute little animal, said the woman. And Boris could feel the other beasts looking at him. He knew he was supposed to scare humans, but instead he just kept holding his breath and hoping everyone would go away. Can I keep it? Asked the little girl. She bent down to get a better look at Boris. I don't think Boris wants to be kept as a pet. Boris couldn't hold his breath any longer. His cheeks were now completely filled with air, and as the little girl reached her hand out towards Boris, he blew out all the air in his cheeks, and with the air came the loudest boo anyone had ever heard. The girl screamed, and all three humans quickly ran away. When the humans were far away, the beasts came out from their hiding places and cheered for Boris. The beast who couldn't say boo was really the scariest beast alive, and Mr. Rumpus even presented Boris with a special ribbon for being Boo Day's hero. And the first thing Boris, the hero, did was run to get a hug from a very proud mother. There he is, getting his big hug from Mama. So, that was The Beast Who Couldn't Say Boo, a trick-or-treat tale. And it was written by Amanda Agee and illustrated by Carol A. Camburn. I hope you enjoyed. And we're only a few days from getting to be as spooky as we can and to say boo as loud and as scary as we can. Work on those scary faces. Apparently mine is not that scary. You saw me try to do it when Boris was practicing, right? So I want to see some scary faces. I want to see you scrunch up your nose and roar or make a scary face, or even show me if you have a scary mask or if you do scary face paint. I might try my hand at doing a skeleton face just for fun, because that might be more scary than my scary face, right? So with that, that was The Beast Who Couldn't Say Boo. We'll see you later.